1, 2. You hear the clock ticking. Tick tock. You about to stop living. Tick tock. I want you to remember me. Tick tock. But the dead don't have no memory. I'm coming. Nobody can stop me. Nobody can hold me. Nobody control me. I'm coming. I'm here to do my thing. I'm here to bring the pain. I'm never ever gonna change. I'm coming.
Hey folks, Evil DM here. Gonna be a little awkward, maybe a little bit of a different format this week. There's something wrong with my computer, so I'm here using my phone in my car during work. Figured I would do something because I got an email question from Sam I Am asking, is it the DM's job to deal with cheaters, and what are the signs? So, people cheat. It's human nature to cheat when playing games. And if you give somebody an inch, obviously they're going to cheat. I mostly roll with the whole honesty program, and if you're cheating, you're only cheating yourself. So with that said, there are some signs to see in the cheaters in your group. And some signs of cheating are all the rolls come up really high, or all the rolls are really high when it comes to building the character stats, rolling for initiative, rolling for attacks, and then every once in a while they'll pepper in some low rolls to make it look like they're rolling fairly. Another sign is that the player quickly rolls a die and picks it up and then announces the number so you can't see it. I've seen so many players actually do that, and it's kind of funny, but you know, whatever, you're only cheating yourself when you're doing those things, so whatever. Saying that you rolled the dice on the table in plain view, but really you didn't, you just kind of placed it on the table. I've seen players, like when you say, okay, everybody, I want everybody to roll to see if you found something. Roll your d20 and tell me what your results are, and everybody would roll, and then you'd look and you'd see that there's, everybody rolled, but really that person that is cheating never actually rolled. He may have made a sound or maybe made a gesture, but he actually placed the dice on the table, never actually rolling. And as a truck goes by, hopefully, whatever, but hopefully you've probably seen this yourself and never realized it. Just watch some of those key problem players there as you look on the table, and you can see them actually do this. It's actually kind of funny. You'll see them put the die on the table, and then as you're telling everybody to roll, they'll kind of make a gesture like that, or maybe knock some dice around and be like, oh, I rolled a 20. See right there. So there's some of the things you could find. Also, there's some people that like to hold their hand over the dice when they roll the dice. So they'll roll it, and then they'll put their hand in front of it like that, and be like, "Oh, I rolled a 17," and pick it up. You never actually see it. So there's another one when they build what I call a player screen, when they put books and papers in the way, or they're just angled out of the way so you can't see what they're doing the whole time. I call it player screen, and they'll be like, whoa, I'm just making an area so I could roll, and it doesn't roll off the table. It's called my rolling area, but yet you really can't see it, like a pizza box in the way, or a bag of chips or something like that, or maybe even a bunch of gaming books stacked up high so you can't see it. It's actually quite comical when you see these things. And then there's the player that likes to just roll and roll and roll and roll and roll, and you're just kind of wondering, why are they rolling? Okay, whatever. And they're rolling, and you're just like, whatever. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I rolled an 18. I was checking the room while everybody was arguing. What do I find? No, it doesn't work that way. It's really just not work that way at all. And there's also some of the players that will not keep track of things on a more extreme end. And that is like, if you say, okay, I shoot my arrow, okay, make sure you're minus one. If you're one of those DMs that keeps track of all equipment and gold and things like that, I don't really keep track of equipment, and so to say, like that. And I like to keep everybody on the honor system. I don't like to play Math Society, the Finder, or whatever you call it. But there are certain signs to see when you have people like, okay, minus 100 gold. They're like, okay, but they don't do anything. It's just like, come on, dude, just minus the gold. You used 4 arrows. Come on, minus the 4 arrows. I'll let you recover arrows. I always let people recover arrows. It's a percentage that some break, but it's better than not collecting any arrows or lying, because they usually do that. Those are some of the things that I've seen players do. And then there's the person that just argues constantly about rules and just constantly rolls to the point that it gets loud that you have to see their side of the thing, or you just don't. That's the end of it. So what could you do to prevent such things as this? So the only time the dice should be rolled is when a DM asks for a roll. And generally it should be when you're looking at the player. Now, granted, there's times when you say everybody roll and then you sit there and wait because, it's your friends and you honestly just want to believe them. So the best bet is to just put everybody in an area to roll, like a rolling box. Now, I have all my players roll in a rolling box. I made ones for them. I went to, I believe it was Michael's. Got some felt, put it in there, made a nice little box for everybody, and we have these nice little rolling boxes. And the rule is you got to roll it in the box. That's the only rule I have. Roll in the box, and the box is in plain sight so everybody can see it. Don't block it or anything like that, and everybody's usually cool with it. So we have no problems there whatsoever. But there are some DMs that'll be like, okay, I want you to roll it in the box. Say you have a dice rolling box, but it has to hit one or two of the walls, and it must be a roll. You can't drop the dice. I don't give a shit about that. You roll the dice how you want to roll the dice, as long as it's inside the box. But you can't, do one of these things, like a drop thing, like when you take the 6 sides and just go bloop. No, I just roll the dice. Roll the dice. Like you're going to roll dice anytime other than that. None of this place stuff. I've seen people take the dice in their hand like this. I'm trying to get it on the screen here for you. And just go like that. And then release it. No, that's not rolling dice. Roll the dice. That's all I think. And as far as people not tracking things on their sheet, if someone's not going to track something, they're not going to track something, and there's nothing you can really do about that. And unless you want to be that stickler as the DM and start keeping track of stuff on your own, that's the only way I say you can get away with, keeping track of players. I mean, unless you want to keep the character sheets after every session and go over things and write down on your notes, okay, Tom used 7 arrows, Steve used 5, Lindsay used 3. Look at their sheets. Oh, they haven't minused it since the last time. Well, we'll fix that now. They didn't subtract the gold. But it goes to say also, if you give them things and they don't write it on the sheet, you should be also writing it on the sheet for them, and can't play that game, well, they didn't write it, not my problem. Now, if it's fair is fair. If you're checking for bad things, you got to be checking for good things as well. So just keep these things in mind when doing it. Now, dealing with the cheater itself, that's a hard situation to deal with, because calling someone a cheater is not going to end really well for you or the group, because people don't like being called out on things like that. Definitely don't do it in public. I highly suggest that you grab them and talk to them on the side about this and tell them, like, listen, I didn't particularly like the way you were doing this or that. Could we, in the future, roll the dice so I could see them, or roll the dice in the box? I don't want to see this or that. And, come on, keep track of the stuff on your character sheet. Now, most players will be like, oh, wow, cool, I'm sorry, or, they really won't give you an argument. I've never really run into an argument when it came to those things when playing a game, but every once in a while there is 1 or 2 players who will argue with you, and you have to just take that as they come along and come to work with a compromise. And if you can't, and it's your house and you're hosting the event, peace out. You need to get rid of those things from your group. If you're in a local store and this person is giving you a problem, obviously you can't ban them from coming to the store. You can only say, I wish you not to play in my group anymore, and if they refuse to comply with that, because, well, this is a public place, I can play if I want to, then you can always talk to the store owner, present the argument, and give it to them, and let them figure out the situation. But most store owners will not want to deal with that, because when they get in that situation, their answer to the situation is, I don't want the drama, get out. And I don't blame them. They can always use the table for somebody else or someone else to sit at that table. Probably play, knowing most comic book stores, probably play Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that. So be careful how you handle these things. There was a situation one time when I was playing at the Reaper mini store, and one of the players in one of the other DMs, because we had split the group of the 2 DMs, 2 2 DMs and a bunch of players in each group, and that DM kind of was not accepted at that store anymore because of some of the actions that he had taken with the players, and they didn't want him there because they didn't feel comfortable. So I had asked him not to show up anymore because he was making people feel uncomfortable. So he went to the store owner and said that I was threatening him, when the store owner looked at it and went, no, he's just telling you that people are feeling uncomfortable, get out. So that person got out. But the store owner had to talk to all of us and wanted to find out what was going on exactly. And he said he didn't want any more drama like that in the future. So there was no more drama in the future, and we were 100% correct in what we did. But we probably could have handled it better by going to the store owner. And I just didn't want to involve him in the drama and the bull crap. And that's what you get when you're playing public places, a lot of drama and bull crap, especially if they're not exactly your friends and they're just strangers playing the game. So with that said, hopefully I've answered your questions, Sam I Am. Yeah, that was your name. I apologize, Sam I Am. Yeah, I printed it on a sheet of paper with my thoughts because I'm not at my computer, see? I'm not at my computer sitting here looking at my OneNote when I do my plotting on my plot points and note things to touch upon that people ask me. So if you have a question, you can email me at askthedm@theevildm.com, and just visit rollhighordie.com. Also, if you want to check out all the actual plays I do, from Ghostbusters, Star Wars, I'm a player in that, and a bunch of others I'm probably forgetting as well. But hopefully you want to check those out and enjoy them, and check out the rest of my videos. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep it original, keep it old school, and good night, everybody.